Hello. Apparently I'm doing portrait mode now. Not good for YouTube and computers, but good for phones. So I don't know. I guess that's what's going on. Anyway, I'm feeling called to share about a dream I had a while back, then how it came into reality. This is something the Celestine prophecy talks about, that the dreams you have, the visions, they're all totally relevant to your life. They're telling you something that's going to happen or about what's going on in your life. So this dream I had happened, I believe, after the last meditation retreat with Kyle Cease and Asilomar, which was totally crazy. I guess it was in October, November, I don't know. So the Bosnia was in September, then there was the meditation retreat, and then I had Rythmia in December. So it was in between those things. And what happened in this dream is I was outside of this stadium, kind of like watching an air show on the outskirts of it, and a bunch had happened before this, but this is the relevant piece. And then it was like in a high desert type area, and I was kind of wandering around, and I got attacked by these dogs, and they were like ripping the meat out of my right leg, is the main thing I remember, just like tearing chunks out of it, and I was running away from them. And I end up in like what's like a stadium, like a sports stadium. Different than the first place I was in. It was more like just a round pavilion where people were gathered on the outside of it, looking out at the sky. So this place was like a stadium where you go inside and there's ramps, kind of like a baseball stadium. And so I went in the stadium and I went down this ramp and I run into Kyle Cease. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, what happened? What happened to your leg? I'm gonna help you. Why don't you come with me?" And he takes me over to this. We go around the stadium to this next. We actually pass another ramp down and we go onto like a third one, right? And there's he hands me over to this woman who I feel like I know, but I don't actually recognize her. I just feel like I know this person. She's like, "Come with me, I'm gonna help you." And she takes me back into this area. 222. That was weird. She takes me back into this area, and there's another woman there, and she sits me down on like it's like an air mattress, and the other lady is a famous actress. I can't think of her name. She's got dark hair and loving eyes, and that's not very descriptive. But this other actress is wearing like a blow up suit, like a cushiony suit, if that makes sense. And I sit down on the large air mattress, and she like sits behind me as like a chair and is like holding me, like supporting me. So the divine feminine is here, like helping me, right? And the other lady sitting beside me on my right, and this movie comes on, and I can't recall exactly what the movie was about. It was like I couldn't quite concentrate on it, and it wasn't super relevant. It was just soothing. But then it got really strange. My entire vision turned white, pure white. Not the screen, but everything turned white. And then I saw a section of text, like bulleted text in the top, and then a second section in the bottom, a list, basically a list of, and I knew it was a list of things for me to do. Like these were instructions for me. And I wasn't quite able to write down or remember what was in that list, but I just was like, okay, this is a list. And I felt like it's coming later. I don't need to know it now. This is just a preview of the future. And so I end up going to Rythmia, right? And have the most amazing experiences that I still need to share about. But what ends up happening is I get this really strong connection with the divine, with intuition, with what I call spirit or the Holy Spirit. Essentially, spirit is the thing that communicates with you through media, through other people, through signs, and through your own inner voice, inner talk. And it's like a part of source being everything, being God. And so I have this like very intense connection with spirit. And this is probably the last day at Rythmia, the day that I leave. Yeah. I just start getting so many things to do, just things to do, like all of these steps, all of these things. And I actually start writing them down on the shuttle as I'm leaving, and I'm talking to to my buddy there, Gord, who's on the shuttle with me, and he's giving me more information that's relevant, and it's becoming more and more steps, and I'm just seeing that it's this constant stream of information of things for me to do, all inspired actions. Like I know I need to do them here, and I've been doing them ever since. I went and spent the holidays, went directly from Costa Rica to spend the holidays with my ex-wife and her family, and it was the most healing, amazing, wonderful, wonderful time, and I was able to be a space for everything that was unfolding and being released during that time, and it was amazing. And that was all those things were on the list, and more things came. And the thing I really want to share is right now I have this huge list that is growing all the time, and there's this spiritual pressure to do it, and it's not like the lists I used to make. I was a list maker all my life, egoically making the list of things I had to do, or things I thought I needed to do. And this is very different because those lists made me stressful. Like, oh my gosh, I have all this stuff to do. How will I get it done? What bad things will happen if I don't do it? I'm sure you know that kind of thing, and that kind of list, what that's like. This list feels kind of overwhelming a little bit, just because it's continuously growing and it's so powerful, but not stressful. It's just more like, this is what I need to do. If I can surrender to the timing of it and know that it's okay, that it's not all going to happen immediately, that certain things might even fall off, and reality is constantly changing. But these are the things I need to do just to the best of my ability, in the moment. So that's what I'm doing continuously. And one thing I've started to do is I'm asking Spirit for help. Like, I am totally committed to doing these things completely, but like, if I can get some help in doing them, if I can delegate some of this to other people, that would be really amazing. And again, that aligns with I need to talk about the Pattern app sometime, but it kind of aligns with what that app says about me, that my kind of role is to be in a leadership position and delegate things and lead and have authority. And that has been a recurring theme in my life. So it doesn't surprise me, that resonates. And so I feel like that's going to be opening up here sometime, especially now that I'm requesting out loud, Spirit, please, I could really use some help in doing all these things. There's some things clearly I have to do myself, like have conversations with people, make videos, what have you. But some of these other things I definitely could use some help with, and delegating those out to make all this stuff happen. And I think the main thing I want to share about this is that this is what happens when you tune in to the energy that's everywhere, the energy of source. You get a really strong connection with Spirit, and you get information about what it is you're meant to do to help the world, for your greatest destiny, to do all those things. There's a phase in this that's talked about in many books where you can use the energy of reality to create specifically what you want, a specific outcome. Think and Grow Rich talks about this. And it's a real thing, but it's never really resonated with me. That hasn't. And I think it's because I've been pretty tuned into my internal intuitive guidance all the time. And that's what I followed a little bit more than things I wanted to create, because there's a bit of ego in that. Like, what do I want to experience? And so in the new version of the Celestine Prophecy, which I read on Kindle, it has an afterword, and it talks about that this level of creating where you want what you want is great, and that's like a season or a phase. And then the next level after that is tuning into this intuitive guidance and kind of surrendering to it. And that's when like really amazing stuff starts to happen, when you surrender to that and follow those steps. And I always thought there was something like an issue with me because I couldn't do this other thing where I decide something that I want and then I make it happen. Like it just wasn't resonating with me. Like I couldn't do it. Maybe I did when I was younger, when I was young, maybe that was the phase for me, and I just moved into this next one. I don't know, but I kind of felt bad. Like it wasn't, like I wasn't able to do that. Why can't I even think of something I want to make happen? Like, why is that not? And it's because that I was already connecting into this intuitive guidance, from my higher self, from Spirit, whatever you want to talk about. And so that's the place I've been operating in. And it's the evolution of the other place. So I was like, oh, cool. Now I get where I am. That makes so much sense. Surrendering to this feels awesome. And it's not like I need to conjure up something I want. And, so that's where you get to if you're in the place of creating specific things you want. Awesome. Awesome. But there is this other thing where you can surrender to the guidance that's going to take you to a really divine, magical place. That's what it's trying to do. It's trying to help you. So surrender to it. And like, it's amazing. It's amazing. Read the book, check it out. Love you guys.